Everyone with more aviation disasters. Today we're going to be talking about the full story of the Tenerife airport disaster on the 27th of March, 1977. So it starts off as a normal day for everybody aboard Pan Am Flight 1736, or Pan American, and they were heading for Las Palmas, just like the passengers and crew of KLM Flight 4805. So both of those 747s were heading for Las Palmas. Then a bomb explodes at the Las Palmas airport, closing it completely. So now the two 747s and a lot of other passenger jets were now heading for Los Rodeos Airport on the island of Tenerife. And yeah, it was chaos at Tenerife. There were only two controllers, which was normal for a normal day, but this was not normal because there was bigger aircraft and they only had enough parking space for a few planes. And they only had the space for max about amount of space that a parking lot would have. And yeah, so now all these jets are heading in for Los Rodeos Airport, which is now North Tenerife Airport. And yeah, and then fog began to fall. And the pilots of the two 747s were not happy about this, nor were the passengers not happy about this either. Then Las Palmas reopened hours later. Everybody got back on their plane. The KLM was instructed to take off. The Pan Am flight 1736, was still on the runway crossing it, and was crossing it to, I think, get out of the way or something. They were crossing the runway. The KLM mistook an air traffic control thing for a takeoff clearance. It was a big mistake. Then the KLM started to take off while Pan Am flight was crossing the runway, and they didn't get the message, we're still on the taxiway. And yeah, KLM took off, or tried to, at the runway at full speed, and yeah, there was no way they were going to avoid a collision. The KLM smashed into the top of the Pan Am 747, tearing it apart. The KLM apart. It skidded down for a few hundred meters, and then exploded. The Pan Am also exploded. In total, out of the 644 people aboard both planes, 583 died, sadly. There were only 61 survivors in the front of the Pan Am flight, which was chaos. Now there was chaos at Tenerife Airport. At Los Rodeos Airport, the fire department was then called out. And remember, it's still thick fog. And the fog began to lift, and they saw the two planes wrecked on the runway. And now the investigation for the Tenerife Airport disaster was pilot error. The cause was pilot error. And poor weather conditions. The two 747s were beyond repair. They were totally at a loss. Totally destroyed in the fire. Because the KLM took on 55 tons of fuel before it took off. And that was a mistake. But that doomed all 248 people aboard. The Pan Am didn't take any fuel. And yeah, the front end of the plane was somewhat intact. And that's the Tenerife Airport disaster for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Be yourself, be strong, and yeah, goodbye.